Hey, what's up, Easy here. Finally making this add-on video. I know some of you guys have been asking for it for quite a while, and here it is. I have quite a few add-ons, and I don't want this video to be extremely long, so I'm going to really briefly explain them, and then the ones that I don't use, they're going to get less of an explanation than the ones that I actually use, because some of them I just haven't got around to uninstalling yet. So I want to start this off with um, what's not actually considered an add-on in the sense that it goes inside of your interface add-ons folder, but I consider it probably the most important add-on that I use, and it's called Error Sounds Be Gone, and there will be a link in the description for it as well. And what it does is it replaces the GCD/fizzle sound. So you get a folder called sound, and inside of that folder is two folders called interface and spells. Inside of each one of those is going to be these blank sound files, and they replace the sound that you get. Like if you were to like mash keys and you don't have a target, or you're in between a global cooldown and you get like just either a click sound, or I guess the other sound could be explained kind of like if you were to take like a drumstick and like drag it along like a cymbal or something. It's just a weird, annoying sound. It gets rid of that. So Error Sounds Be Gone, link in the description, because that's the only one that you can't install through Curse Client. And if you're wanting any of these other ones, I recommend just getting Curse Client and installing it, because it just makes things so much more simple. So to start this off, we got Add-on Control Panel. That's what you're looking at here, and it's actually skinned with add-on skins, which I'll show that in a second. So what this does that the default UI can't, as far as I know, unless they change something, is the sets, because I'm pretty sure they implemented something like this into the default UI, but I don't think it can save these sets. So if you're like going into raid, or you're going in on your auction house tune or something like that, like you can have different add-ons loaded up, you know, basically just, a couple clicks away, you can load up a whole different set of add-ons. So that's pretty nice. Then the add-on skins, it skins certain things, and it can do a lot of stuff, but I literally only use it for the add-on control panel and then DBM. And you can see that it's got a lot of stuff that you can skin, but I only use it for two things, because I think the rest of it's just a little bit obnoxious. Then Altaholic, it's like if you have tons of alts, and I don't really want to talk shit about people that have tons of alts, but some people are very unorganized. So, like, if you have tons of alts and you don't consolidate what they own onto, like, one character or one guild bank or something, and, like, you'll have fish on one character and herbs on another character and ore on another character, and, like, random stuff that should have been auctioned or vendored, 5 years ago on another character. Like, this is kind of add-on you need, basically, because it will keep track of anything and everything. It brings up a little UI that's kind of like the auction UI, and where you can just search for stuff. So I've used it. I have no need for it though, because I sell everything, and like a lot of my bank tunes banks or a lot of my alt tunes banks are just totally empty, and they don't have like anything in their bags. So then Auctionator, that's an auction add-on. It's just the one I use. I'm not going to say it's better than Auctioneer. It's the one I use. I can alt-click and auction stuff like really fast, and I'm sure the other one can too, but it's what I learned to use, and it's what I'm going to keep using. Auto Safari Hat. It says it alerts you if your Auto Safari, or if your Safari Hat isn't active when fighting wild pets, and activates it when battling pet tamers. So the first part's true, but I don't think the second part's true anymore, because that pet hat is now a toy instead of an item, and I don't think it auto-activates it, but it still will tell you if it's not active, and it will still auto pick up and turn in the like pet tamer daily stuff for you. Auto turn in is strictly for questing, and it automatically will pick up and turn in quests, so it will do like everything, or just dailies, or accept dailies, and then it will like auto pick the most expensive reward, or by parameters, and you can set the parameters like, hey, I use pole arms and I want a wand, and so like if it's got one of those two things, it will auto pick that reward for you. It's one of my newer add-ons that I've added to my collection that I definitely am going to keep. Bad Boy is for spam, and I don't know if I can actually show it, but if there are like Chinese gold sellers around or something, spamming up trade, spamming up say or something, it'll just like filter them out of your chat so you don't see them anymore, and it will like pop a little box up to let you report them with one click. And then Bag Brother and Bagnon, that's for this bag add-on. This is like an all-in-one bag add-on, and it's just what I've always used, and I forget exactly why I prefer this over the LVUI bag, because it looks very similar, but I do for some reason, and I don't know why. Can't explain why, but I do, and there is a reason. I just can't remember it. And then we have Battle Pet Breed ID. This will show you your breeds of your battle pets. So I just realized that when I was looking for that chat spam that you couldn't even see it, but believe me, I was looking for it, couldn't find it. And so the Battle Pet Breed ID, it shows you the breeds of battle pets, and this can be important like if you are, the more hardcore that you get into like the pet battle stuff, this becomes more important. So pretty self-explanatory that a double power build is going to have more power than a double speed build, and sometimes power is more important than speed, and vice versa. So it's when you need that kind of an add-on. And that the breed thing, I think, is like getting packaged into a lot more of the pet battle add-ons, but originally for like the first 6 months, that was the absolutely only add-on that did it. It was just a standalone add-on that only did that, and that's just what I am continuing to use to this day. Broker Garrison, that's for it displays all of your garrison missions for all of your toons, and like this add-on is like a resource hog, and I think all these data stores right here I needed just one of them for the Broker Garrison, but it installs all of them by default. I was obviously, like, if you saw my Garrison Gold mission guide, I was really hardcore into the Garrison Gold missions, but then they nerfed that, and I have enough gold to where like I don't care anymore. Like I got like over like a 1.2 million or something on one server, and then like 520,000 on this server, so like don't care about gold anymore, so don't use that one anymore. Camera distance max factor, this just lets you like zoom all the way out, so normally you can only zoom out about half this far, and I don't know why this is a thing and why Blizzard just don't like implement this into the game to where you can zoom out all the way by default, but it's a thing. So that just types in like the console command for you, and that's all it does. The Camera Plus add-on, I've used this a couple different times, and I wish I had like more uses for it. It makes it to where like you can take and hold a key down, and it will like you use it to like hide your UI, hold the key down, and it will pan your camera around like really slow around your character, so it gives you like that really cinematic type view and stuff, and you could have some like Eye of the Tiger music playing. So that's what that's for. And then click is for basically for healers, and it gives you this extra button over here. So you you basically just like hold like whenever you click this button and you're inside here, this is like your spell page, and you can like bind stuff to click bind, so you can turn any UI into like heal bot basically. So you can see here how I have healing surge, and then like middle click to cleanse, which I'm thinking that's might be. Do I have it? Oh yeah, we still have it. I was thinking they made it only healers now, but yeah, basically res and yada yada. Let me see if I can join a group here and demonstrate. Alright, so I have this set up to where like it doesn't work on my target frame and stuff, because you need to click your target frame and your player frame to do things like that. But if you're inside of a group like this, you can see like I'm clicking on this raid frame and it's spamming heals on me. So that's what click does. Definitely useful for if you don't want heal bot and you don't want whatever healer add-on, but you want the same functionality with your LVUI or your grid or whatever. That's what click does. Cross Realm Assist, this is nice because you basically just you click this button here and it will auto join you into a group, and it will make you like phase out. It's for like hunting rares and stuff, and you can literally just be like boom boom, and just spam join groups like that. So very useful add-on. I already went over the data store, deadly boss mods. I hope you know what that one does. It shows timers for boss abilities. LVUI is basically everything you're seeing here. Let me move my webcam so you can see everything. So like the chat, the backdrop for SCADA here, this stuff down here, the gold, the time, the multi-strike, the mini map, guild friends, the 8 buffs, the buffs and the debuffs, target frame, player frame. All this is UI. All this right here, that's UI. Everything's UI, or everything's LVUI. I can't even talk. So LVUI is a complete UI replacement. It replaces like absolutely every element of your UI, and it also lets you like copy and paste chat. So I can like copy and paste this chat. So if I just hit Control C there, and then Control V there, you can see you can copy and paste chat. And there's also something very special about this list is that you won't see in like probably anybody else's list. And you can see that it says author, Blaze Flak, and EZOVERDOSE. Yep, that's right. Even though I didn't make this add-on was made for me, and it's a module for LVUI, and it's because I went to the LVUI forums and I actually bitched about the default option where you can only save like 500 chat lines or something, and because I had came from Pratt, and Pratt allowed you to save 5,000 chat lines, it was something that I got accustomed to. So like I bitched about it, and this guy actually wrote me up a little module, a little add-on, like specifically for me to let me save 5,000 lines of chat inside of LVUI. So like I don't think anyone else has this right now, but if somebody wants it, I can actually I can upload it for you and give you like the link. And if the guy that made this for me is watching it, I appreciate that. I'm still using it. And so EPGP, let me move this camera back down. EPGP Loot Master. That's like a DKP add-on that I used when I was raiding. Don't raid anymore. Garrison Mission Manager. That's for your garrison missions. See if I can hurt back over here. Show you kind of what that does. So that's like that paired with this other add-on called Master Plan. I forget which one does what, but like these two together, you can basically just come in here and you can just like say, yeah, I want the gold, give me the gold, give me the gold, what's this, give me that, don't know what it is, but I'll take it, give me this stuff here, that, give me this. So you get all this stuff, and then you just click, one click, you send all these parties out, and what it's doing is it's optimizing the highest % chance for you to succeed on these missions, and it just simplifies everything for you. So that was Garrison Mission Manager and Master Plan. If you get one, you should get the other on those two. Handy Notes, this requires like additional modules, so like Handy Notes Drain Our Treasures is a module, and then the Hollow's End is a module, and that makes it to where like when you're looking at your map, it's gonna show you these rares. So like here's the rares, there's like a rare mount rare, and then there's another rare mount rare, the Void Talon pet or whatever mount. And then like normal people's things would look similar like this. I've actually got pretty much all the treasures, but you can see like there's a garrison mission thing, or actually it says adventure pouch with the garrison resource icon. But it's got like a ton of this kind of stuff on the map to where it tells you like where to get each and every treasure. And then for the other one, the Hollow's End one, you can see here these are all the candy buckets. So, and they have one for each one of the events that has something like this kind of you know, where you have to go out on a voyage and loot a million different buckets or things or whatever. Mixed scrolling battle text, that is if you look right here, that's where my incoming healing, and then on the other side in the same spot, that's where my incoming damage comes. So basically all I use it for. It can do a couple more things than that, but that's all I use it for is incoming heals and incoming damage, so it isn't just like just all over the screen covering my character and stuff, and it isn't merged together as well. And then Mogget. Mogget is a transmog add-on that it's good for if you are like farming old content or something that has potentially expensive transmog content or equipment in it. And it does basically the same thing as if you were to control click the gear and it brings you up in a dressing window, except the dressing window will be like a naked character and it shows you only that piece of gear. That way you can't get confused on what piece of gear it's actually showing. So if you're scanning over, stuff, trying to see, what it's worth as well as what it looks like, this is the add-on that you want. So like your auction add-on will show you how much it's worth, and then the Mogget will show you what it looks like. So just because something shows it's worth 45,000 gold and it looks like ass or something, like my non-transmog gear looks like, doesn't mean that's what it's worth. That's what it's going for in the auction house, and that means no one bought it. So that gives you an idea of like, if does it look good enough to go for that price? Does it look good enough for me to keep it? So that's what that's for. NPC scan, it's just tracks rares. So if a rare comes into like draw distance, it'll make a sound and it'll put a little tooltip on the screen where you can click on the tooltip and target it. Pet battle teams, that's a good add-on for if you are like doing hardcore pet battle stuff. So like I have everything saved for the mop loop, to where it's like all the mop tamers and stuff, and then I think I have everything saved for like the celestial tournament as well, and it looks like all of the stuff for the Garrison Menagerie dailies. And so I have 74 of them total, 74 teams total, so I don't have to go through and search for 3 different pets individually and create a team from scratch every time. Pet Journal Enhanced, that just gives you like more filter options, basically, lets you filter in more ways. And then Pet Tracker will show you like pets that you're missing. So let me come to like an older map here, maybe. If I go up here and click this, it will pop these little icons up on the screen here, so it'll let you know like what pets are in each map. And by default, like when you see like an icon like this, like you're missing the pet, and then as you collect them they'll disappear. But you can change the filter to where it shows everything if you wanted it to. And it also shows the enemy team's abilities as well, like the cooldowns of their abilities for the pet battles. Postal, that's just basically, that's for like your bank tune. If you have like an auction add-on, you want postal as well, or something similar. I don't know exactly what is comparable to it, but you just click one button, it opens all your mail. So if you sell like 500 auctions, you just click open all, and then you go away for like 5 or 10 minutes, and they'll all be opened, and it will loot everything and collect all the gold by the time you get back. SCADA, that's your damage meter here. So I don't have nothing to show for it, but it lets you break down all your stuff. Hopefully you know what a damage meter is. Let's go up. And what else we got? SGI, a Super Guild Invite. That it scans, it uses /who to where, well, it's not gonna do it right. Let me see if I can Stormwind. Alright, so it uses /who to where you have an option by default where you can sort by guild and show the guild. So like there's guildless, there's guildless, there's guildless, and it takes all these people that are guildless and it puts them in a list, like a queue list, and you can go through and just spam click one button to invite all of them. So like it's for guild masters that are trying to like spam invite people to guilds and stuff. Tell me when I need to go get in combat and show you. So tell me when, like it'll tell you how to do your rotation. So it says use lava burst, use unleash flame, and then it's telling me I need to use that. It was telling me that I needed to put down my searing totem. It's telling me to use lava burst again. Use Lava Burst again. That's coming off cooldown. Get ready to use that. Now this is up. Get ready to use this. Use that. Use this. It's telling me like my dot's falling off. It's telling me I can't put my dot up because the other shock spell put it on cooldown. So it basically just, it's telling me how to use my rotation. It can track debuffs. It can track like all kinds of different stuff. Let me go back here and get out of combat. So it looks kind of like this is set up. Like it tells me if my lightning shield's not on my character if I go into combat like that, and I have all of them set up to where they only show when I'm in combat. And then it will tell me like use a health potion whenever I get below like 30% or something. Use a cooldown, a defensive cooldown when I get below like 50%, when I get below 40%. So like it can track like anything and everything basically. If you're trying to min-max your DPS, you definitely want that. It's comparable to weak auras, except I found that it handles global cooldowns way better than weak auras. Like I tried to set up global cooldowns on weak auras, and it was like an absolute nightmare. But for this one, you can actually just check. Where is it? You can just check this box right here, allow global cooldown, and you get the global cooldown sweep. So like if you're trying to min-max your cast time, it's like in between global cooldowns and stuff like that. Like it's just much more friendly as far as I know, unless weak auras has changed the way it handles that. Tidy plates, that was the nameplates of the enemies, and this basically I used this over the LVUI nameplates, because the LVUI nameplates, I found a bug with them where once you get like so many LVUI nameplates, like if you have like a bunch of ads or something on the screen, it will just like destroy your performance. Like I did a test in Ulduar, turned off VSync, was getting 80 FPS, rounded up like 100 mobs, and I was down to like 20 with the LVUI. I was at 30 with the default, and I was like 60 with tidy plates. So tidy plates back then, I don't know if it's still the same today, but back then it was more efficient than the default UI. But yeah, it shows you the debuffs you put on them as well, which is nice. And that's just one skin, what you're seeing there. You can stretch that out, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it a different color. They have a bunch of like 4 or 5 different presets for the skins as well. It looks like graphite, green, neon, quatre, so I use the quatre. And then we got Tip Tack. Tip Tack is the tooltip add-on, so like you want to look over like down here in this bottom right corner above SCADA, and you can see the tooltip add-on. So like it just kind of tells you, you know, what's going on. So like the reason why I use this one, I forget exactly why, but I'm thinking just because of like appearance, and it matched the theme of my UI better. But I can see what I'm targeting, so like if I mouse over a person like in my raid or something, I can see if they're targeting the right thing. If if like somebody calls for like an ad swap, like you swap mobs in like a raid or something, and like let's say you're on this one and then you're supposed to swap to this one, and all you have to do is like mouse over this one and you can see how many people are targeting it. So it will tell you like how many people are targeting it. I can't really show that example because I don't have anyone in my party, but it works. Trust me, it works. And then like it tells you who's targeting you as well. So like I can see it says targeting you. So like what you do is like if you're trying to like be an attention whore and you like go stand on somebody and you're like, hey, look at my cool mount that you don't have, look at me, and then you keep mousing over them and you can tell whenever they're actually targeting you, and whenever they target you, you're like, oh yeah, and then you just go, you fly off because your mission is accomplished at that point. So oh, that's it. We hit them all. Holy shit, it's like a 25-minute video. Alright, well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Some of you have been asking for it for a while, and if you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will note, I think I had this thing ready here. I will note that I have, if you go to YouTube and you search for Raid UI EZOVERDOSE, it will bring up these 2 videos here, and one of them is just me like showcasing my UI, which I just did, and then the other one's the install guide, okay? And I updated this on 6.28.15 updated it for patch 6.2. So basically everything that you saw in this video is how it will look if you download these files. And this is basically just you click this and you go to like slow download, and it's got the DBM settings, the DBM. I think one of these is obsolete now. One of these DBM things. Not positive. I don't think it matters though. And then the LVUI settings, so everything's pre-configured the way I got mine set up. And then the mixed scrolling battle text, so like the battle text is set up the same way, and SCADA is set up the same way, and then tip text set up the same way. And that's basically what my UI is comprised of whenever you just were to look at it like this right here. So if you want my UI, or even like bits and pieces of it, that's how you get it. And there, if you need like more instructions on how to install it, that other video will thoroughly explain that. And if you don't like certain aspects of it, you literally go here, toggle anchors, start dragging stuff and moving it. So yeah, that's how you get that. But yeah, raid UI easy overdose, and it'll pop it up, and then check the description of that one. So there will be a link in the description to this video specifically as well, and there will be a link in the description to the error sounds be gone, and there will be a link in the description to like Curse Client, because I recommend getting that if you want to install any of them add-ons that I went through. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.